Woodworking for Warriors is a Tipton nonprofit built by veterans for veterans. No cost, no pressure, just a place to belong.
Hi, I'm John Abbey and I serve as president of Woodworking for Warriors, and our intent here is to engage veterans in a positive, creative space that will allow for support and reduce isolation. So our interests are connecting with veterans and then leading them to a point where they have abilities and skills that they can share with others. I was not around at the very earliest formation of veterans coming together, but I was part of the founding of Woodworking for Warriors as a 501c3, and I think what we find most important is it gives veterans an ability to collaborate in a space where they feel comfortable, feel welcomed, and have the ability to grow. So if you have those three things, you can make some pretty magical things out of it.
It started in 2018 as a small program hosted by the Sam Buford Woodworking Institute in Adrian, backed by a grant from the Adrian Rotary Club. As it outgrew that space and with support from Midwest Energy and Communications, it moved into its own home on M50 in Tipton.
I initially met one of their members when I was out walking my dog and started hearing about their problem, that they were a group of veterans looking for a place to continue the work they started at Sam Buford. And I said, I've got a wood shop. And so they came out and checked it out. And originally it was just this barn that we were talking about. And as they started working on this barn, we realized they needed a lot more room. So we opened up the pole barn outside there. And now that's a much bigger space.
So we try and capitalize on people's varied interest. And as we make things, people are very eager to share. And one of the ways we pay the bills is to sell some of the things that we make. It is a really extensive process from idea to delivering to the customer. But through that journey, you have veterans working together, collaborating on a project, problem solving, asking questions, wondering what might work better. And those dialogues, those conversations lead to a connection that's pretty hard to duplicate.
Today it has more than 300 members from every branch. President John Abbey, a Vietnam veteran who's spoken openly about his own struggle with PTSD, says the goal is simple. Find the veterans who feel isolated and let them know they're welcome anytime. No exceptions.
Well, I had a grandfather and an uncle and my father-in-law who's been living with us for the last 3 years, who are all veterans, who I saw all suffered in various ways. And so when I met these guys, I was like, this is a perfect use of our space. And then as they were around more, it was like, this should be your home. This campus could really work for you. And so, I don't know, we've just been coming up with ways to make that a reality. And here we are with Operation Horizon.
Where we're at right now is a really critical inflection point. We're here July 2026, and we've launched now in July our Operation Horizon, which is our major capital campaign that we're raising $600,000 that will lead to the purchase of this property for the permanent home for Woodworking for Warriors, and also allow us to predict and plan for our future. In this current setting, we're gracious guests of Jen and Steve, and they've been wonderful about that, but nothing's forever, and we'd like to have a long-term plan, and Jen and Steve are working with us to do that.
From Tipton at the barn here for Woodworking for Warriors, I'm Brian Vish for WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.